Oh, that's so stupid. What did I unmute before? Anyway, hope everybody's good. Just got back from Cincinnati. Reds, Phillies last night. Good game. Ultimately for the Reds, a lot of home runs. Sal Stewart, 2 Oppo Tacos. Ellie, Oppo Taco, all of that. Bad day for the Phillies pitching. But anyway, hope you guys are good. Sorry about the audio thing there at the beginning. I thought I clicked it, but I guess not. So definitely going to watch Cease today. Probably Jake Bennett. We'll see what else. So hope everybody's good. And having a good morning here on Thursday, July 9th. Reds needed a game like that in the worst way. They did. They've been struggling. You can feel it when you're around the club, but they played really, really well. Curious about this too. Who is some people you guys are looking forward to potentially watching today? So all these questions. Hello, Carson. All right. Let's do the standings. Let's get into it. And then probably head right over to Dylan Cease land as he faced the Giants and shoved majorly yesterday. So let's see what we got in the hopper here in terms of things I need to close out. Okay, research tools, fine. Standings. All right. Yep, Jared Jones is another one. Yep, he's been pitching better. We saw the stuff when he came back off Tommy John has been incredible the whole way, but getting better results now, which is really good to see. But Cease will be first after we go through all the usual morning stuff. All right, Thursday, July 9th, standings. Tampa Bay, they won 2 out of the first 3 versus the Yankees down there in the Trop, shutting them out, striking Yankees out left and right at actually, frankly, an alarming clip if you're a Yankee fan. Yankees are now 5 back. Tampa has built a nice lead. I'm wondering how aggressive Tampa Bay Rays are going to be at the deadline. At some point, they got to go for it. They're only a couple pieces away from being a real threat, in my opinion. You know, McClanahan, Rasmussen, I know there's probably some concerns with workloads there, but those 2 guys are dogs. Their offense is tough to face. They're tough to beat in the Trop. You throw another great pitcher in there, they might be a tough out. Red Sox are also red hot. They're currently in 4th place, but only 3 back in the wild card, 12 back in the division, 6 under 500, but 8-2 in the last 10, 5 wins in a row, plus 17. They're starting to look like a team that could really actually turn it around this year and get back into things. All right, Central, White Sox, game up on the Guardians, 2 up on the Twins, who have played good ball of late. They've won 4 in a row, really complicating their deadline situation and what they're going to want to do. So they're an interesting team to track, honestly, the Twins. I've ignored them for most of the year, but they're fascinating, as are the Tigers now, who've also won 4 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10, 42-50. It's not a good record, but they're only 5.5 out of Division 4 to the wild card. American League continues to confound. AL West, Mariners half game up above the Rangers. I expect both of those teams, plus the Astros, to probably be somewhat buying at the deadline. We'll see. Astros are only 2 out there. They have a losing record, but I mean, they're going to feel like they're in it. A's have really reeled. Now they're 10 back, 1-9 in the last 10. That's a shame. They're a fun team, but they're just not ready yet. They're not complete yet. All right, Braves, they won finally last night, and they took advantage of a Philly loss to go up 3 games now in the NL East. Miami Marlins now have pulled even with the Phillies. They've just played phenomenal baseball. It's flown under the radar, but they are right there. They're a really good team. Mets did scratch out a win last night, but they're pretty far back still. NL Central Brewers, they lost last night to the Cardinals, or yesterday I should say, but they are 6 up on the Cubbies, 9.5 on the Cardinals, 11.5 on the Pirates, and then the Reds, who did have a nice night last night, but we don't believe in them very much, I don't think. All right, last in the West, Dodgers win, Padres win, so standings remain the same, but it's a 14-game lead, and the Dodgers are cruising. All right, coffee cup winners from last night. I did some coding on the plane today, so I was able to fix my top 100 prospect list. Now we have the actual list, the updated list up there when we look at the prospects. So Joe Adell's the winner of the coffee cups. 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored for the Angels. Sal Stewart, I mentioned him before, 2 Oppo Tacos. He might be worth watching. PCA had a nice day, 2 home runs as well. In terms of the hits, a couple 4-hit days, Jackson Holiday, Yandy Diaz, and Vaughn Grissom. Good to see Jackson having a big day, even in a losing cause. Yandy's a menace. On the mound, Dylan Cease, who will be our first guy for sure today. 8 innings, 11 punchies, almost no-hitter, 3 outs away from the no-hitter. Jared Jones, 6 innings, scoreless. Foster Griffin, who continues to be really good for the Nats. Will he be a factor at the deadline? I wonder. One way or another, I do wonder. And then Troy Melton, who's been a powerhouse, and then this time he did it with the strikeouts. So I'm kind of curious about watching him as well. Jake Bennett, a lot of good pitching last night. McClanahan with the scoreless outing. Christian Scott looked pretty crisp, I thought, for the Mets, which I watched a little bit on the plane today just to get a sense of that. Garrett Cole with the workmanly outing, still giving up more hits than he'd like right now. Michael King did a good job. How about in the WPA? Jared Jones is our winner of WPA. Cade Smith with a clutch save, so maybe that's something worth watching considering how much WPA he has there. Shane McClanahan, top 100 prospects. So Bryce Rainer went 5 for 5 last night. This is a guy we haven't watched yet. He might be a guy we could go watch all 5 hits if we have video on that game. Zyhir Hope, 2 home run game last night. That's part of that Dodgers AA outfield. 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. A lot of home runs from prospects last night. Eduardo Quintero, Ralphie Velasquez, Eduardo Florentino, Johnny Farmelo, Arjun Nimala, and Tate Southsene, or how do you say that? Southsen? I don't know. On the mound, only 2 guys pitched. Kendry Chorio and Seth Hernandez. Both only pitched 3 innings, kind of whatever. All right, so that's it for the Cups. Remind me of my what's up, June? Remind me of my who I want to watch, particularly Bryce Rainer. I think he'd be fun to check out on. He's a prospect I liked coming into the draft. He's currently the 40th prospect in all of baseball. So I don't know, maybe we'll head that direction in a little bit. But let me hop in the chat here for a minute, and then we'll head over to Dylan Cease. Have you had a chance to watch Luis Lara? Brewers just called him up in his electricity. So I saw the highlights of him running. You want to talk about some speed? It's so funny. We're in the manager meeting with Murph from the Brewers last week, and he's saying how they have nothing that's going to help him in the minor league system. But we all know that's not true. And Luis Lara is now up there, 5'7", 169, born in 2004. My God, I am old. 50 hit, 40 power, 60 run, which was on display. 60 arms, 70 field. Lara signed for $1.1 million out to Venezuela in 22. Became one of the Brewers' patented quick movers. He's gone about 1 level per season. Played in the Fall League. Won a minor league Gold Glove award. Standing only 5'7", Lara was a constant highlight machine in the Southern League, making quality reads in center and going gap to gap. The Brewers always seem to have incredible, fast little outfielders. Sal Frelick. Mitchell can go get it. Not that he's little. He's a beast. Chorio can go get it. In the past, Collins was there. They've always had some of these dudes. Anyway, he also registered 10 outfield assists, using the most of his plus arm strength to hold opposing runners in check. On glove work alone, Lara should be a priority center fielder whenever he's in the lineup. So that's pretty cool. They get an impact defender. Obviously, it's not much of a power threat given his profile, but what were the stats he had in the bushes before getting called up? He was in AAA, and he was hitting 321, 432, 470, 902 OPS. So little guy, but he did his thing. 92 hits this season already in AAA for the kid. 9 homers, so a surprising amount of homers. And what do we like? More walks than strikeouts. 54 walks, 48 strikeouts. This seems like a useful damn player to me. Priority center fielder, speed, all that stuff. So he gets up there along with Cooper Pratt recently. So a couple of these top guys have graduated to the big leagues. Jet Williams, I expect. He hasn't had a great season in minors, but I expect him to impact as well. Another short king, 5'7", 179. He's actually got pop, lol. Just happy Perkins is gone. Perkins was a sick defender too, right? But couldn't really do much else, I guess. This is the prospect I'm wondering about. We've been talking about a lot on the program. Andrew Fisher, my Italian friend. What's he looking like currently in AAA? 298 with 1,100 OPS. He's already got Oh, no, that's in high A. He had 1,000 OPS in high A, and double A's got a 1,200 OPS. Sorry about it, with already 8 home runs in his first 18 games. I know there's a lot of swing and miss there, but that's a fascinating dude. Ooh, and Jet Williams hitting 400 over the last 10 games. So that's that's good to know. Anyway, so no, I haven't really necessarily seen Luis Lara play. Looks like we got a couple of defensive highlights maybe we could watch here for a moment once we get through the ads. But yeah, I do want to get over to Dylan Cease pretty quickly and roll through because that's 8 innings of 115 pitches to watch. All right, here's a play from Lara, running catch, playing right field, covering some ground, coming in, making the slide, wearing the sunglasses on the hat at night. Little concentration piece right there. Anyway, excited to watch this guy play a little bit more. I mean, obviously, it's the type of guy that, we're going to have to spend a little time on at some point, but we're not there yet. All right, back to the chat here again before we head over here. So much stuff in here. Why do you think the Marlins took out Yuri Perez during his perfect game? I mean, it was just to protect the asset, protect the value that they have in their young stud. He just threw third start back off the injured list. It's all practical reasons. Do I still hate it? Yeah, I still hate it. Still hate it. This is such a Met comment. Adam, as a Mets fan, I hate the Mets. And there are no pitchers I'm eager to see outside of McClanahan. Okay. Oh, man. Why did we trade for Gore, Mr. Ottavino? Well, a lot of people have been tantalized by the Mackenzie Gore package for a while. Tigers are the team to look out for. Injuries dampen their start. They have the roster. They have a roster that, I can get behind. But they still have a lot of making up to do. We mentioned when we got through the first 2 months of the season, when you're buried deep, you got to play like a first-place team the rest of the way, so we'll see if they can do that. What do you think of the Skeens and Miz matchup coming up? Oh, that's awesome. We actually had a question in our Discord yesterday in the poll. Who would you take? I believe it was one of the polls. Let me see it. There was a pretty good one in here. Yeah, one pitcher for the rest of their career, Miz or Skeens. That poll closed, and Skeens won that vote. We also had one that Dan threw up here. One pitcher for the rest of their career, Chase Burns or Cam Schlittler. So, anyway, Schlittler won that one. But I don't know. That should be a fun matchup. Obviously, Miz is the pitcher of the moment. Skeens is the pitcher of the last few years. So we'll see how they go. All right. What else we got here? I believe the Rays are buyers when I see it. I mean, I just think they should. They have opportunity this year, in my opinion. Yeah, Jake Bennett will probably be the second pitcher we'll watch today, June. Who do you think is the most underrated bullpen guy in the league right now? It's a tough question. Underrated bullpen guy? I mean, probably my guy Brooks Raley. A lot of people don't talk about him. He just quietly does his thing year in, year out. Join the Discord. There should be a link in the description or in the bio on the YouTube page for the Discord. If not, maybe somebody in the chat will point you in the right direction. All right, Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is winning the Cy Young. You know what? I'm not going to put it past him. It could happen. And man, what a signing for the Jays. I do feel a little bit bad for the Blue Jays front office because I feel like they did a lot of things right this offseason. A lot of their decisions were good decisions, and yet they're still struggling. Cease, clearly a good decision in year one. He's been awesome.
Gloria's coming on 12.
What?
Gloria's coming.
Yeah, Gloria's coming at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
So they guessed right with him. Even the Sanchez trade, I feel like, was a good trade. Rogers has been a good signing from the man who throws from down under. I thought Ponce made sense. Of course, he got hurt right away. So a lot of the moves that they made on the top end kind of didn't work in terms of wins and losses, but I feel like there were successes individual on the transactions. So Cease was the first one, and if you recall, I was kind of down on it, but he has been all that and more for this team. 8 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, 118 pitches. That might be the most of anybody this season. 45 four-seamers, 33 sliders, 16 changeups, 14 knuckle curves, 6 sinkers, 4 sweepers. He got to face mostly lefties, some righties.
What time's it?
What time is it?
Doya times.
I'm hoping she'll come at 12. I wrote her, but have not heard back from her yet.
We're going police station.
Oh, yeah, you're going with Mommy to the police station?
Yeah.
Mommy's got to turn herself in for her crimes?
A news.
I'm just kidding. I know what she needs for work. I'm just kidding. Mommy would never break a law. Love you, cute boy. But, you know, we've talked about how he's added to his arsenal. It's no different in this game. Yes, it's mostly four-seamers and sliders, but, I mean, 16 changeups is significant. 14 curves is significant. 6 sinkers, 4 sweepers, 75% first pitch strikes. There's no Discord in my bio. Spectre, help him out. I don't know how to get on the Discord. 75% first pitch strikes is great. You know, it's one of the things with him. He's always hunting that efficiency. So he throws a lot of pitches in this game, but it is 8 innings. Kind of curious to watch how it played out. You know, in real life. San Francisco Giants, Toronto Blue Jays from the Bay, Oracle Park. Dylan Cease, 118 pitches, 11 strikeouts. Let's do it. All right, here we go. We start in the game with Helio Ramos. Actually been swinging the bat pretty well last couple days. We've been talking about him as a potential trade chip for the Giants. Ooh, there's that Dylan Cease slider. Nasty. Overcooks that one. And then 97, called strike 3. Fastball down. His four-seam down for Freeze is always going to be available after he throws a bunch of sliders down because guys are trying not to chase below the zone. So he should honestly utilize that a little bit more, but you see it in practice right there. All right, here's Arise, another guy that I think could be on the trade block and a guy who's had a very interesting season bouncing back on defense. He's sitting over 300. He's kind of doing everything that Luis Arise is supposed to do. And I'm wondering, you know, what teams he might fit. I've seen John Boy parading around the Yankees as a perfect fit. I don't know if I agree with that or not. But what did he just do? Did he just cup check himself right here? Ow! But he's an intriguing player. I think I'd be interested in acquiring him, but maybe not paying him for another year, if that makes sense. All right, 0-2 changeup. Gets the reach and roll over. Vladdy is there, takes it himself, 2 outs. That will bring up Casey Schmidt, who everybody had batting in the 3-hole for the Giants when the season began, right? Slider. It's been better than the previous few starts. 75% is elite, so really on the season I feel like he's done a better job. I can check in on that in a little bit, but you know, it's a key for everybody, especially starters. But you know, a guy with stuff as good as Cease, he's gonna shove if you just pours strike one in there a lot. All right, so this is actually a pretty good swing by Schmidt. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the distance. How hard was this hit? 100.8. So if he was in Cincinnati, it's probably a no-doubter. But in San Francisco, pretty easy play. And we're on to the second. Gloria said that she's going to try to come for 12. First pitch, called strike to Rafi with the four-seam. Another four-seam there, fouled off. And, you know, at times you can just throw fastballs to Rafi. As crazy as that sounds, at times you can spam fastballs up. All right, slider dirt. Here comes a front door sinker attempt, which I like that he's trying. This is a new thing for him this season. He's executed a few of these really well, even though this might have not made the most sense this moment to do it. It's good execution. So Give him credit for that. All right, to the changeup. Pushes it off the plate away. He's going to double up on that changeup. Pushes it away again, and now he'll go back to the challenge here with nobody on. Throws the down and away four-seam. Rafi beats it in the ground. Nice play by Jimenez. 1 out in the second. Four-seam away, strike one to Lee. You see a lot of auto takes on 0-0 so far from the Giants, hoping to get in a good count against Cease, and that's backfiring. Pours another heater in there. Lee is late on that 0-2. Don't understand changeup call at all here, but it's a ball anyway. Now to the slider. Ooh, good slider. Not quite low enough. Hooked foul. I think curveball would be a good call here. Let's see. Changeup. A lot of good early changeup usage from Dylan. And that ball is tapped off the end, floated in the air. Easy play for Jimenez. 2 outs and Adames. Sweeper strike. That's the first sweeper of the day. Here comes the sinker in. Whew, beautiful pitch. Total hesitation on that from Adames. You see the value of having something unexpected. Ew. This is the type of swings we like to induce on the mound. All right, 0-2. Go for the finish above the zone, 98. That's a take. Now he's coming slider.
Still had good bat speed.
Gets the chase, but he hangs in there. Now he's going to punch him with probably a better slider. Yeah, better slider now. Gets it to right, down, and away. And a pretty dominant first 2 innings. Man, 2 really feeble swings by Adames to close out the second inning. All right, third inning, Bryce Eldridge. Knuckle curve ball. I like it. Trying to go with the first pitch dumper. That's what we call the first pitch slow curveball. Another one again. Is this all you do? Because I like it. Yes, this is pretty much all I do. Ooh. Float changeup after 2 slow curves. Man, this is middle, but check out the flotation of this changeup. Eldridge can't stay back, still has 98 on his mind, even though he hasn't seen it yet. Even just the numbers 98 on a scouting report page will speed up the hitter. All right, bunch of off speed. Now here comes the first fastball. I missed it, so we got to go center field, Cam. Just a bit low. Ooh, good freeze attempt. Just a bit low. 3-2, another fastball here. Yeah, live on YouTube. Mainly, this is a YouTube show. I also use TikTok, of course, as well, as you guys can tell. But YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel. Link in the TikTok bio. Nasty backdoor slider here from Cease for the freeze. I don't recall him using his slider very often backdoor, but that was a really good execution. He's just gotten a lot better this year. You know, he's always had the velo, like none of that's really changed, the four seam and the slider, but just improved so much around the edges and even how he thinks about pitching from what I can tell. And he's gotten way more comfortable. You know, he did a lot of this in spring training, and then the season started and he backed away a little bit, and now he's back on it. And you can just tell, he feels like he can do it all out there, and that's a great place to be. There's a terrible changeup, and then he's going to fix it on the next pitch and punch out Gilbert. So, man, he's got it all working. He's not afraid of, he doesn't get spooked by a really bad miss. I mean, he threw this pitch over head high to Gilbert, and then he comes right back with a much better one. So, one pitch adjustments. These are all good signs. These are all potential Cy Young award winning type signs. He's going to have to run down Schlittler, but I think he'll have him in probably some categories. Eric Haas here. Try to backdoor sinker there, 1-0. That's also a little odd for him. Comes back with the four seam. Slider away. Swing and miss. I mean, you're just never going to get... He's just never going to give in to you, really. He doesn't have to now with his mix. Overcooks that slider, and then he's going to go ahead and make another one-pitch fix. Beautiful for the strikeout. And you see why the chase rate and the whiff rate's so high. And it comes out hot. It's 89-9. He throws it with great conviction. They start in the zone, and then they say, we're not in the zone at the last second. So pretty dirty right there from Cease. All right, back to the top of the order. Helio Ramos, first pitch dumper. Chopped foul. I love it. I'm loving his first pitch choices. Fastball away. Pulled off the corner. Now to the slider. Very good location. Gets the chase, and now he can go for the called strike. Ooh, gets maybe a generous call inside. Yeah, and I'm surprised he got this call because I feel like Kirk kind of caught this a little weird. But, man, I don't even know. He meant to go up, obviously, but this ended up being a very happy accident. High target. I mean, everything's been away. Ramos getting ready to dive, and then that ball just comes in at 98 inside. So, happy accident for the strikeout. All right, next up, Luis Arraez. First pitch slider to the statuing Arraez is in there for a strike. Here comes the heater.
Did you guys say that he was a strikeout pitcher?
Ooh, gets the chase above the zone 0-2. Going for the front door sinker, knowing he's hard to get him to whiff. Wow, crazy that he swung at that and hit that. Can we take another look at this swing? This is just pure hand-eye coordination, and you have the shortest swing in the league. I mean, this is actually impressive to put this ball in play at 97 in on your knuckles at all. I know he doesn't get a hit, but my goodness, what a bat-to-ball skills Mr. Arraez has. That's ridiculous. Yuck. All right, 2 outs there. And Casey Schmidt gave it a good ride to center last time, but not quite enough. First pitch, dumper. Now sinker in. I love this combo. Wow, good swing by Schmidt. I mean, he's not going to get anything for it again because he got the ball to the spot in. But the fact that he got to that at all is pretty impressive. 94 because of a great location. So just a perfect sequence here. First pitch, dumper, top of the zone. Second pitch, sinker in, gets him off the barrel. Little fly out, efficient out, and we're on to the 5th. Change up, ball.
Cued off the end of the bat and waiting.
What are you talking about? Was I talking about Cleveland at all? Not that I recall. Man, that's him way out front on the flow changeup. He's got a lot of outs on not his primary pitches, so just showing you the growth that he's taken this year. First pitch, dumper to Jung-Hoo Lee. Four-seam up and away, swing through, nasty. And changeup.
You want that new one that I just bought? Get on the ground. And
some of these sequences I don't even really agree with from a timing perspective, like me reading the at-bats, watching, but the pitches are all so filthy and the execution's all so good that it hasn't really mattered yet. I think it's crazy because he had a huge game with 11 punchies, but there's a world in which if he sequenced a little differently, he might have had 15 from what I've been watching. But anyway, easy out there. And now Adames.
Adames struck out in the second.
What is WPA? That's win probability added, which refers to, it's sort of like understanding what are the biggest moments in the game that contributed to winning or losing. So, you know, you get a big clutch hit, you're going to get a big boost in that stat.
A really high three-quarter position.
Slider away, chase. I was going to try to put him away. Slider again.
And that's rolled foul.
Tapped foul.
Up high.
Four seam up.
Bridge to hit if Adames can reach.
All right, gets him to 3-2. Not able to put him away right away, but gets right back in the zone. Painted 98 away, fouled off. And then here's one of his first walks of the game. Overcooks the fastball, so.
And for the first time today,
I think that's the first base runner here. 2 outs in the 5th. Here is Eldridge. Four seam down strike. 99 coming now. So if anything, his velo is remaining exactly the same or going up. He's not losing anything. Eldridge late on that. Now changeup. No, and knuckle curve. Probably, if he gets it below the zone, it's perfect.
Runner goes.
Yeah, perfect pitch below the zone. So, I mean, we've seen outs on changeups, sinkers, four-seamers, knuckle curves, sliders, you name it. He's doing it right now. This is really good execution. Strike, ball. And he's through 5. All right, 6th inning.
To pitch at least 5 2/3 and not allow a hit.
Here's Gilbert who takes high.
Why do a lot of pitchers throw curveballs top of the zone first pitch? Why do batters take most? Well, they're not usually hunting that pitch. Most guys don't throw their curveball as like a primary pitch, so the percentage isn't high enough for most hitters to sit on it. They're going to sit on fastball, try to jump ship on a fastball. Remember, most hitters want to hit a fastball, so the idea with it, throwing the first pitch dumper, first pitch curveball, is just to get a free strike. It's a pitch you don't think they're going to swing at. It's super slow. All your other pitches are still available, and that's why it makes sense to throw it. All right, here's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the 6th. So 2 walks in his last 3 batters at this moment, and we're at the 9-hole Haas. 4-seam strike.
Little tapper foul. Hey, the Giants can...
Slider fouled off, and then swinging strike on slider. Let's check the location. Right on the corner, and that's the second time that Haas has come up empty on something like that. So a nice strikeout there for the first out of the 6th, and now we're back to the top of the order, and Ramos.
Swing and a miss.
High slider. This time he tried to jump him, but I think he guessed wrong. Missed that. 98.5 coming here. Late on that. See, I read it as going up more here, but they're reading it totally different. They're going to sweeper. Pretty good take, but that's what happens with sweepers. A lot of yes, 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 no hitting. And now the harder one, the slider. Swing and miss. So we've seen a bunch of pitchers interact gyro slider and sweeper this year to great effect. Sonny Gray, Max Meyer, bunch of guys we've talked about. I think there was somebody even yesterday that we watched doing this, but Cease demonstrating it there, goes for the sweeper, doesn't get the chase, but then goes to the tighter slider and gets the chase and swing and miss. So nice combo there, and we are back up to a rise again. First pitch, changeup,
Out of play.
fouled off. Seemed like he tracked that well, but didn't line it up very well. Then 98 up. I mean, he's just a tough at bat. 79 and 98 back-to-back pitches. Almost a 20-mile-an-hour difference on the first and second pitches of this at-bat. All right, slider below the zone. Arias taps it foul. They should try front door sinker. They're going to try slider again. Good pitch location. Beats it in the ground. Pretty dominant pitching after the leadoff walk there, so that did not phase Dylan Cease. All right, 7th inning. First pitch out coming here. Sweeper.
I remember it well.
To Casey Schmidt. Not really a great pitch to hack at. Sort of like that first pitch curveball we were talking about. And in this case, they do swing it, and he gets a 1-pitch out. Nothing a pitcher likes more than a 1-pitch out. All right. Rafi Devers, curveball ball. Slider down ball. Changeup coming here. 3-0. Oh, he's going to try to get back in the count. He does end up with 3 walks and 1 hit, which we all know was Ramos in the 9th. But 3 walks prior to that. And other than that, he pretty much shoved. This is the 3rd of the 3 walks. So Rafi gets a walk.
There's the walk.
There's 1 out here in the 7th. And some of these at-bats, all it did was just push up his pitch count and make it a little more sketchy to get to the finish line. But it's not like they had any results off it. All right, Jung-Hoo Lee, 4-seam strike. Here comes another one.
Provided you can get out of the 7th.
0-2. 74-mile-an-hour changeup now.
1-2.
Knuckle curve now. Good hold up. That was a decent try. A little too far inside, but got it to the dirt. Goes for it again. But back-to-back now, Lee read it. That's a great at-bat by Lee so far. Slider pulled foul.
3-2.
He's done a great job on a lot of these deep at-bats, too, just staying focused and pouring a lot of pitches in competitive areas. Ooh, lucky foul ball there, and then he's going to capitalize with that lucky foul ball, drop a knuckle curve in there now. I think this is also probably the best feel for curveball he's had all year that I've watched. He's thrown an awful lot of well-executed curveballs in this game. All right, 2 outs in the 7th, and here is Adames.
If you're trying to get the perfect game.
Perfect slider down and away. And another slider again. He's just abused Adames with sliders all day long.
So cute at the end of the bat. Clement.
Wow, Ernie Clement with a sick play to keep the no-hitter intact. This is a crazy play. Comes across the bag. The ball's got some weird English on it. He's going to field it on the shortstop side. Little short arm, one-hand hop throw. Perfect candy hop for Vlad. So great play there by Ernie. And we're on to the 8th. Still no hits allowed. Bryce Eldridge. Slider ball, knuckle curve. So, I mean, you just see he's kitchen sinking it now. And it's beautiful to see. Eldridge gives that a ride. Great play by Varsho. So a bunch of really good plays here late make you think that he's going to get the curveball. Varsho, one of the best outfielders in the game. This is a sick play. But, I mean, also a sick play by Ernie. We saw a good play. We saw a couple good plays earlier and a couple balls that went to the warning track. So, you know, there's always a little bit of luck involved. All right, Gilbert. Four-seam middle. Still chucking 97, 98.
Here he takes another strike. It's nothing in
2. 0-2, and you're going to get a third fastball at 99. So just straight gas. And he bullies Drew Gilbert for the second out of the 8th. Pinch hitter Drew Kavanaugh here. You get 97. Curveball coming here. I mean, he's locked in this inning. All strikes. Misses up and away on 0-2, and then he's going to punch him out looking with 99 right down the middle. Not sure what pinch hitter Kavanaugh was looking for there, but no hitter through 8. So he had 114, 115 pitches at this time. They did send him out for the 9th. I love it from Schneids, but he immediately is going to lose it here to Helio Ramos. Four-seam strike. Four-seam in for effect. I like it. And then a sinker, and I'm pretty sure he wants this in. Misses just a bit over the plate. Ramos, who's done a great job lately of kind of staying inside the ball, staying in the right field. Does a good job, gets a base hit up the middle to break up the no-hitter and end Cease's day. Now, a lot of people have commented about Helio Ramos with like this bat flip that he did coming out of the box to break up the no-hitter when you're getting absolutely blasted in this game. I mean, I don't know. It's a new game. Did I love it? No, but whatever. I mean, it's an emotional game. Good hit by Helio Ramos, and ultimately, it's a shame. Cease was right on the doorstep, 3 outs away from no-hitter. We've had a couple close calls recently. Yuri Perez, this one. Couple close calls this season, but I wanted it for Cease. He's been so impressive this year. 148 strikeouts and 98 and a third this year. So yeah, if he's trying to chase down Schlittler, it's going to be just continuing to put up long starts with low, obviously amounts of runs, and then obviously he's got him beat, I believe, in strikeout rates. So he might be able to do it with a little more, style points on the end and chase him down if he can make it close with the innings pitched. I don't know if wins really matter, but innings pitched and ERA for sure. And then his strikeouts might be a separator. But, man, imagine you sign Dylan Cease to the mega deal. He could win a Cy Young or come at least in the top 3 in your first year, and yet you're struggling as a crew. That's tough. That's a tough reality to live in for the Jays right now, being, as Mattingly said yesterday when I saw him in Cincinnati, 2 inches from winning the World Series last year. So, in a way, I do feel bad for the Jays and their fans because I feel like they've done a lot right and they haven't gotten a lot to show for it. All right, here's Dylan Cease's season. You see he's above average in every single metric except for walks. Still too many walks. That's always going to be part of his game. I call it the Blake Snell syndrome, where you're almost too nasty to not have some walks because balls that other guys would get put in play off of them are foul balls against you. The at-bat continues. You go for some more chase, and eventually you do end up with a few more walks. On situations where a lot of them would have been in play. So that's kind of what I think's going on there. Overall, Dylan Cease is throwing a lot of strikes. It's just, again, I think his nastiness kind of hurts him at times with walks. This is a big key to his success this year. He's currently running a career high first pitch strike percentage, 63.8%. It's the most simple stat there is in the game, but it's the thing that I always tracked on my own the most is, am I just getting ahead of these batters 0-1? We also tracked race to 2 strikes, which means do you get to 2 strikes before you throw 2 balls? So basically getting to 0-2 or 1-2. If you hit those fundamentals and you have good stuff, you're usually going to be successful. We know what type of stuff Dylan Cease has. So, you pair a bunch of new pitches and a much better feel with a renewed ability to get in the strike zone at a high rate, and he's going to be off to the races. So he's looking great. I wonder where he ranks in Fangraphs leaderboard. I bet you he's really high up there because they love strikeouts. Maybe they don't like the walks as much, so his FIP, but let's see. Pitching WAR this year, they have him number 3 in the league and number 1 in the American League, actually ahead of Schlittler. 3.7 WAR currently for Mr. Cease. Yeah, 13.55 Ks per 9. That's actually slightly ahead of Mizorowski, so pretty incredible for a starting pitcher. And he's doing it with a 308 BABIP. Like, he's not even getting super lucky with batted balls. He's got every bit of a chance to beat Cam out for this award. Cam's just got the innings and the ERA lead right now, but there's so much baseball to play. And, I mean, man, Dylan Cease is going to be right there. He really is. Nasty. All right, hopping back in the chat. Jake Bennett should probably be next. I just like that he has feel for all his stuff and will throw it now in any count. See, he used to not do that, you know? He used to really struggle to pitch outside of his fastball and his slider, but that's not the case anymore. And Cease is just climbing that ladder of effectiveness and of pitching ability. Is the sequence more on the catcher? No, I mean, it's on both. But as a pitcher, I mean, I always called my own game. I feel like, it's on you to learn your own game, but of course the catcher helps as well. Catchers need to pay attention. That's why I talked yesterday a little bit about educating your catchers on playing the game pitch to pitch and understanding batter reactions, pitch interactions, and all sorts of different concepts like that. So I do think it's partly why I say catcher is the most important position on a team for winning. How about those Reds last night? Hitting Rockets last night. Could have fooled me that they're a good team watching them hit last night's game. Do you think he used his changeup earlier to set up later use of slider? A lot of slider now. Maybe not intentionally, but I do think he probably picked out some batters in that lineup that the changeup was going to be effective to. Seemed to have a pretty good feel for it early, and then you just ride it, and then you always know you have your best pitch, the slider, in your back pocket as time goes. I start these at 10 a.m. every day, just not on the weekends right now in the middle of the summer, but Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Just reading the chat here. Oh, you like that? This is going to be next. Just seeing what else is coming here. Is it really that much better playing for the Yankees than the rest of the league? No, but they do everything really, really well. So I wouldn't say it's that much better, but it is awesome. It is awesome. Playing for the Yankees is awesome. Everybody should do that. But I mean, I didn't play for the Dodgers or the Cubs or a lot of the other teams that have good reps too. That was Fangraphs leaderboard where I was. All right, it is time. No, I think YouTube, but TikTok's just getting me exposed to so many more people, which is cool. All right, it's time for Jake Bennett. So Jake Bennett has been on an absolute burner as a rookie this year for the Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox, you have to really admire their young pitchers that they've developed, and this one was traded for, and a really brilliant trade by Breslow, to be honest. In my opinion, we haven't seen Perales yet do anything for the Nats, so we don't know. But I mean, man, this guy's been great. Command pitcher, great changeup, sneaky fastball, good extension. The command has been palpable when you watch Jake Bennett pitch, and we're going to watch him in this game in a minute. But it's just the locations, Anybody can have these pitches in theory, but can you command them like Jake Bennett? Not really. So he's been awesome. He pitched last night for the Sox versus the other Sox. And they are stealing the joy of the previous most joyful team, the White Sox. That's how hot the Red Sox are right now. So Bennett goes 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts on only 81. Very tidy, very efficient pitches. 4 seam fastballs, 30 of those, 21 sinkers, 19 of his beautiful changeups. 6 cutters, 5 sweepers, 2 curveballs. So it's 22% whiff. It's not really his game. He's not a huge whiff pitcher, but you'll see when we watch him, it's really good execution, I'm sure. 64% first pitch strike. That's solid. I mean, 54% zone rate puts a lot of pressure on you to swing. So let's watch Jake Bennett versus the White Sox. It's a nice, tidy amount of pitches, so we can watch them all. 81 pitches from the kid. All right, Miggy Vargas will lead off this game against the big Oklahoma Sooner lefty Jake Bennett. Four-seam ball one. Here comes another one for a foul ball. His fastball really plays up in the zone despite not being 98. He's got good angle, good extension, really good command up in the zone. There's that changeup. That's his best pitch. Vargas is out front, hooks it to third. Durbin snares it. One out. All right, next up is Randall Grichuk. Fastball up and in ball. Fastball coming again. Gets above the barrel there. Grichuk pops it up. Here comes Zyhir Abreu and the vaunted Red Sox defense. Nice play there. And now we're up to Colson Montgomery, who Peyton Tolley, we watched his start from 2 days ago yesterday. He chewed up Montgomery with sinkers. Let's see if Bennett follows suit. There's one fouled off. Here comes another one. Left on left sinker. I'm just going to leave this comment here because this is a big part of my pitching identity, and I always felt good that people like that song. 94-6 up ball, and now finally a breaking ball. It's going to be a sweeper, and he's going to punch out Colson to end the first inning. So all fastballs and changeups. Of course, he mixed in a couple sinkers with his four-seam there as well until this pitch. And you can see he's got Montgomery all sped up for a sinker in. Drops a huge slow bender on him there. Honestly, it's more of a slurve, but it's a really good pitch. And that's it for the first inning. Second inning, one pitch out. Hard hit, base hit. Good approach by Meadroth. You know you're going to get the strikes from Bennett. Be aggressive, try to get a fastball middle down. That's what he does. And he rockets that to left. Leadoff hit. And now my Italian friend Sam Antonacci. Looking to bunt, takes the sinker away. Here comes another one. Swinging away now, 2-0. Gonna go to 3-0.
Left and left center.
3-1. So all sinkers to Sam. And a very rare Jake Bennett walk. So he gets himself in a little bit of trouble here. Base hit and walk to open the second inning. Here is Braden Montgomery from the right side. Four-seam beats him. Here comes a changeup. Good pitch, but didn't have anything low to tunnel that off of yet. Fastball. You got to stay right there with those two swings from Montgomery. Let's see if he does. He does, and that should have been strike three. So doesn't get the call there. But he's going to stay stubborn, stay up. I mean, yeah, you got to. The hitter's telling you he's not ready for anything up. And he ends up punching out. So good recognition by Narvaez, and Bennett there takes care of Braden Montgomery, and here is Perez. Four-seam up ball.
At high pitches, he'll just stay up there.
Sinker strike. I mean, and you see all his misses are good misses, too. He's always in the region. That's also painted up and in. I mean, he's executed really well. And that's his calling card. Another fastball up, and it's a strike three looking in. So he just worked Perez in, and Perez didn't want any part of it. Ends up just taking that, and he'll go sit down. Nice pitch there from Bennett. All right, 2 outs, and Kyle Teal. Four-seam up ball. Here comes the sweeper. This is the second breaking ball we've seen. Drops it in there. Very nice. Four-seam up again. And now sinker. So four-seam sweeper, four-seam sinker, dribbler. I mean, I love the two fastball approach. Andrew Abbott should be watching these videos, and he should start doing this with the Reds. All right. Very dominant first 2 innings. Even though he did get 2 guys on in that second inning, he made it look easy after that. All right, Luis Angel, sinker away, strike one. Here comes the changeup. Perfect down and away execution. Now they're going to go four-seam up. Very fortunate hit there for Acuna. Chops it in the ground. Good location. Can't be handled. Leadoff man on in the third.
Home country to keep his dream alive to become a Major League Baseball player.
Four seam in, strike. Yeah, Rays definitely need to buy if they can't go to the World Series this year. When can they? Kind of with you here, Michael. I just think at some point you got to push all in and try to actually get that trophy. And why not this year with the weekend American League? Then you're talking about if you can get through the American League, you just got to play one great series versus the NL champ and your World Series champions. I mean, maybe I'm making it a little more simple than it is, but I feel like there's opportunity this year in the American League. This is another good changeup. It's actually a really good swing by Vargas, but it's just not a pitch he can drive. It's below the zone. He does his best. Only can hit it 95.3 and ends up being a can of corn for the first out of the third. Here comes a one pitch out to Grichuk. Fastball in. Great swing. Got to that. Lined it. But right at the shortstop. So one pitch out there. And then another one pitch out to Montgomery. So we talked about how the Red Sox lefties have chewed up Montgomery. Left on left sinkers. Here's another example of that right there. Just really good pitching to a scouting report. Really good execution. You know, you got to hit middle in. He gets it to perfectly up and in. And saws off Colson Montgomery. Just brilliant location from Jake Bennett. He's got great locations. I mean, I have him as firmly plus command and maybe even plus plus. All right, fourth inning. Meadroth got a hit on a fastball the first time. Sinker down, tapped foul. Change up coming here. We'll do his motion from the side in a minute. Man, for good measure, he's even playing a little defense. Look at the big fella field his position right here. Gets him by a half step for the first out of the fourth. Now to Antonacci. That's a strike. Sweeper again, base hit. So Antonacci's a thorn. And there's a reason why this guy's got like a 900 OPS or whatever he's got now. Just a tough guy to face. Inside outs, base hit there. So a walk and a hit for Antonacci in this game. All right, let's see if he stays up and into Braden Montgomery this at-bat like he did the last time. First pitch up in. Second pitch, changeup, sword. Man, he's taking some awkward hacks. Right back to up and in. Misses above the zone, and then back to the changeup. So just keeping you in that rocking chair. Up and in, down and away. Up and in, down and away. Two different speeds. Not easy to hit that. And it's a beautiful double play. I mean, this is just perfect execution. He didn't hit perfect with those fastballs up, but he hit perfect with both changeups in this at-bat, and he gets the double play here. So just classic pitching, hard up and in, soft down and away. Almost impossibly on time for both when the pitcher executes, and he's through four. Fifth inning. First pitch, fastball up. Hit pretty well, but it doesn't have the distance. Exit velo, I'm going to guess only like 98. Wow, 104. This should have been a home run. This is crazy. 104-1 at 31, not a home run. Poor Perez. He put a charge into this. He hit this ball well, but it doesn't go out of the park. So just a long out. Another one pitch out. Man, he collected a few of these in this ball game, and that's just another left-on-left sinker that chews up Kyle Teal. Done this to Montgomery. Now he's done it to Teal. Got Teal out with a sinker the first time too, but that left-on-left sinker, the location. What a nice pitch, and this is how you are so efficient like Jake Bennett. You get a lot of quick outs. All right, 2 outs. Luis Angel Acuna. Sinker down ball.
A little harder fastball.
Here comes another sinker. Gets a half swing on a borderline pitch. I mean, he's living on the edges. Change up. Good take. Change up again. 3-1 count. Got to challenge him. Going to the sinker. So Angel Luis is going to get his second hit of the day. That's a good swing. Fights off a sinker the other way. So one of the rare times he got himself in a tough count. 3-1. All right, back to Vargas. Vargas has had 2 good swings, but he's out-executed him so far. 4-seam up, that should have been a ball. Holy cow, that's almost 3 inches high, and they called that a strike. So very fortunate strike call here. And now changeup. So it's the same approach. Up and in, down and away. Another good swing by Vargas, but he has just missed him 3 times. Vargas is going to have one of those days where he goes home and he's like, man, I was a couple millimeters away from a multi-extra base hit day. But yeah, that's the advantage of living up and in, down and away with really good command and speed differential. Guys are just a hair off and they just miss it. So that's going to be the end of the 5th. Little fly out there. We're on to the 6th. Another 1-pitch out coming here to Grichuk. Cutter. First cutter of the day. Gets kind of a half swing. Very nice play by Durbin. And we'll take the first pitch out all day long.
But it hasn't been the defense. That's not the problem with them.
All right, Montgomery. Cutter away. Let's see if they don't just start pounding him back in with the sinker again. 0-1 sinker in, just as I predicted. Off the plate. Sweepers available too. Yep, here it comes. He just overmatched Montgomery in this game. Front door there. And now he should go backdoor sinker. Oh, they're doing it. And he locates it. Oh, this was such a pitching masterclass, this whole at-bat. This whole at-bat. So the whole game, he's been drilling him inside, so he's so aware of inside. Coming into this at-bat, the only thing Colson had seen was sinkers in and some sweepers in the zone or away. But in this at-bat, he goes steal, strike, cutter, paint, immediately reinforces to look for in with the sinker. So keeps the sights in with this sinker, and then even with this sweeper, keeps the sights in because this ball pops at him. So he knows where Colston's eyes are. They're in. And then he says, all right, I'll start something away and run it back to the corner for strike 3, and then executes it. So it's not just the idea, it's also the execution. But that's perfect. That's perfect pitching. Rookies should not be this good. I got to give credit to Narvaez probably, but you should not be this good at sequencing as a rookie. And this is just a perfect pitch that you're just never going to see a swing at something like this. And that's 2 outs. All right, 2 outs in the 6th. Meadroth, he's had a good game. Changeup down, strike.
So it's going to be a while, and because of his absence, some young pitchers have gotten the opportunity to pitch that probably
curveball down ball.
And when he's healthy, he's awfully good. They have some backup.
Changeup away, so 2-1. I mean, he's got 63 pitches right now here in the 6th inning, so those 1-pitch outs have been huge. There's a poor execution. It's one of the first times that he's missed across the entire length of the plate. For the most part, he's always in the area. Like that. You know, he misses in, but he's in the area. Change up. Yanked foul. And change up again. Try to get it a little further away, maybe.
A lot of guys like to take that other
Gets it a little lower. Rolls it over. Chad Durbin. Inning over. Through 6. All right, 7th inning. Definitely throwing more cutters this 3rd time through. All right, Antonacci, the flea. First pitch cutter, now to the 4-seam. Left on left changeup. Look at Antonacci, just will not chase. Makes you come over the plate. And he does, and he almost gets a hit, but a nice play by Monasterio. So good defense. Red Sox defense has been, I think, them and the Cubs have been tops in baseball. So it's fantastic. Great to pitch behind, you know, to pitch in front of that type of defense. All right, here's Montgomery. It's all been fastball up and in, changeup down and away. There's another heater up and in. I mean, he has owned that location today. See if he sticks with it. Ooh, that one he actually missed a little over the middle. That was your one to hit. Didn't get it. Don't expect another one. Change up down ball and change up again. Probably locate this one a little better. Yep, and gets the pop up. So Montgomery just old school up and in, down and away. Hard and soft combo. Nasty. All right, and he's going to finish this outing. Just an incredibly efficient 7 scoreless here. Tons of good locations. You see the umpire starting to give him the benefit of the doubt on close pitches because he has been in the zone so much. I really undersold, I think, the first time I watched Bennett. There's a curveball. Haven't seen one of those either. I think I really undersold how much his fastball seems to play up in the zone and how good he is at locating it there. I didn't realize that it was going to be that dynamic, but it's proven to be that way. I mean, unbelievable locations at the top, up and in on righties, the sinkers in on lefties, the changeups down. So the execution rate is top tier. Really, it's top tier. And that just looks like an innate ability. So they have a good one on their hands in Bennett. And he's a little different than the others. But I think this guy's floor is a crazy high. I think that was probably my assessment when I first watched him, is just like, I'm not sure where the ceiling is, and I'm still not 100% sure. You know, the K rate's 19.2%. Typically, you don't see aces that don't have at least an above average K rate. But, I mean, shit, 98th percentile walk rate, 4.4% walks. Hard to go wrong with that. He's getting 98% chase, so he's always going to be in good counts, forcing them to hit a lot of pitches they don't want to hit. I mean, he's a stud. He's a stud. I'd like to see him find a way to, you know, create more whiff and strikeouts over time. But for right now, man, you got to feel pretty good when Jake Bennett's on the mound. Bennett, Early, Tolley, Sonny. This is why the Red Sox are back in it. These four men and the three of them that are young lefties is just crazy. And they just got Sandoval, Patrick Sandoval, off the IL today, who, I mean, shit, they signed him like over a year and a half ago. And you were wondering if he was going to get back out there. So good news for the Red Sox. Another lefty in the rotation, another guy who've been waiting to pitch for a while. He was pretty good with the Angels. Haven't seen him in a bit, but he'll be back. And we'll go from there. All right, solo shot. Bushman 8. AO, all this all-star game snub talk lately. How the F weren't you never an all-star? 18, 19, 22. 18, I still don't have an explanation for. There's zero question I deserved it in 18. My numbers were even better at the break at the time of the All-Star selection than they were after the season, and they were pretty good after the season. So I think the answer is usually only like 3 relievers make it. They're mostly closers. Usually they're famous relievers. So that's why I thought maybe in 19 I had a shot. I went to the Yankees. I was a little more well-known coming off of my 18. Didn't happen then either. So some things just weren't meant to happen. We already did Cease, so go to my YouTube and rewind a bit. He was the first player that we watched today, was Dylan Cease. All right, what else we got here? Antonio Senzatella is under the radar, but great out of the pen. He has been awesome this year. That's my guy, too. Senza from The Rock Show. Appreciate this, Zerks. Trying to do my best with it. I really enjoy the challenge of the booth. It's a blast. You get a good adrenaline rush from doing it. I'll say that. Appreciate you guys. Luke Riley just got snubbed for Riley O'Brien for the All-Star game. This is kind of like the closing dynamic. Riley O'Brien, he's got a bunch of saves. Also, like, there's always an excitement about a younger player, too. So oftentimes that's who gets the edge in these situations. Although I think Luke Weaver deserved to be an All-Star this year, totally. 100%. AOY has Louis Varland been so good this year compared to last year? I think he just found himself when he went to the Blue Jays, really. He just found himself, you know. He found him. I wish I had TikTok. You have to come over to YouTube on Adam's YouTube channel. In the channel bio will be the link. So in the TikTok bio, I have my YouTube link. Go to that, then you'll find the Discord from there if you're looking for it. Why isn't Zach Wheeler an All-Star? No idea why. He definitely deserves it. We talked about this yesterday. So he's getting a little screwed there. Maybe that'll get rectified. Not sure. What was your favorite team to be on? I always say every team except for the Cardinals. I loved the other 4 just about equally for different reasons. You know, Rockies, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox. Had a great time with all of those. Cardinals not so much, but some of that was just because of me. Not even them. So I'm not even hating. Wish I would have been better there. You think Boston can make the playoffs 3 out of wild card? I do think they can make it. I do. I think they got a chance. I do think they got a chance for sure. All right. Who we want to watch next? There's so many pitchers to watch. Maybe we'll take a quick break, prospect break, to watch Bryce Rainer go 5 for 5 last night. Just a little bit of an update on who Bryce Rainer is. He is, I think he's in the 40s. Yeah, number 40 prospect of the Tigers in High A. He was a draft pick I believe last year. Here's the bio. Yeah, born in 2005, 21 years old, drafted 2024 first round. 2024 is already a legendary draft. This was one of the high school players. So I want to watch this guy's 5 for 5 night, and then we'll get back into some major league stuff. 50 hits, 60 power, 55 runs, 70 arm, 55 field, overall 55. This is a dynamic high ceiling player. This player has big time tools. Signed for 5.8 before the draft. He was a two-way player. So this is a absolutely dynamic stud type of hitter. Athlete. This is his numbers this year between A and Double A. He's hit a combined 272, 378, 472 for an 850 OPS. He's got 10 home runs in 67 games. He has struck out too much, though. 104 Ks and 43 walks. So Bryce Rainer plays for which team? The West Michigan Whitecaps. Okay. July 8th, High A, West Michigan Whitecaps. I think it's this one. All right, let's see Bryce Rainer go 5 for 5. Here is the first swing of the day from Bryce. Little line drive up the middle, base hit. Get a better look at this swing. Man, very up high, almost Darryl Strawberry-esque leg kick. Okay, so that's maybe what we're working with. We'll get a better look. All right, that was first at-bat. Here is second at-bat. Bryce Rainer double. This comes off of Wiener Choreo. Feels like there's a lot of Choreos floating around. Man, what is that swing? I've seen that swing before. There's a little bit of Darryl Strawberry in that leg kick. There's somebody else I'm thinking about too. But that's a good swing, man. Now, again, you know me, I like to poo-poo some of these big moves, but that's just a pure stroke, though. Good bat path. So single, double, you can see this guy's put together very well. Nice swing there. All right, third hit of the day is a home run. This is off of Javier Chacon, left on left, 2-0 count. Oh, I love that swing. So balanced. Shoots it off the scoreboard in left center. You know, I have a big thing for hitters that can use the whole field. Don't need to generate exit velo to strictly the pull side to hit home runs. So, I'm a fan of how his swing works. I'm not sure about the leg kick yet, but he's an A-ball, so I'm not really worried about that. Just go do your thing. But this was a hell of a swing to just drive to left center like this. I don't know. He stays so tall too. There's an element of Chris Davis in it. There's an element of David Justice in it. Good call, Ray. But great swing there. All right, that's hit number 3. Hit number 4 is a double off of Javier Chacon, left on left, 1-0 count. Let's see if he stays with the big part of the field again. Ooh, this time he just laces it into right. I bet you that was like 110 off the bat. That was smoked. He needs a helmet that will fit him as it appears to fall off every time. But a little scissoring of the back foot. But man, he stays really tall through his swing. So I'd like to see him against the best of the best, but I do like the natural way that his hands work. So good swing there, line drive up the middle. And then for good measure, he's going to get hit number 5 of the day. You know, 5 for 5 days are awesome. I don't care what level you're at. I mean, he sprayed balls all over the field. We got pull side, we got left center field bombs up the middle. A lot of exit velocity throughout. And so, hey, we just got to watch Bryce Rainer go 5 for 5. Pretty cool. Bryce Rainer, Kevin McGonigal, Max Clark, and Dylan Dingler are going to be a crazy team for the Tigers. I like that. And I agree with you. This guy's swing is so smooth. So anyway, that was Bryce Rainer. Pretty cool that we watched him a little bit. He is the 40th prospect in baseball. Right next to Ava Arquette, who's a guy that the Marlins I know are excited about. Angel Janau. What are the shortstops that are rated ahead of Bryce Rainer on the top 100 prospects? Luis Hernandez, Kalen Culpepper, Aiden Miller, JoJo Parker, Ethan Holiday, Joe Swar, Gonzalez, Caleb Bonnemer, who I'm excited about too from the White Sox, Sebastian Walcott, Franklin Arias, and then the top three, Eli Willits, Leo DeVries, Jesus Mate. So shortstops, they rule the world. They do, especially in the amateur ranks and in the minor leagues prospect ranks. Those dudes rule the world. All right, so that's it for Zyhir Hope with 2 home runs. Okay, we'll keep looking at prospects for another minute. Let's look at Zyhir Hope, Dodgers big time prospect who had a 2 home run game yesterday. Number 3 overall prospect. Now what's crazy is their top 3 prospects all are in the same AA outfield. Jose DePaula, Mike Sirota of Northeastern fame, and Zyhir Hope. Here's the scouting report on Zyhir. This guy's a little bit of a bull, a powerhouse, if you will. 5'10", 193, 21 years old, was originally an 11th rounder out of the Cubs system. 60 power grade, 60 arm grade, 55 overall grade. But he's become a monster since he's gotten into the minor leagues. This is his season right now for Tulsa AA. 289, 364, 519, 883 with 18 pumps. So just when you thought the Dodgers had enough and you were kind of sick of them, they have more prospects. All right, let's jump over to AA from yesterday and find Tulsa. And let's just watch the 2 home runs from this guy real quick. All right, Zyhir Hope. Here is the first one, home run number 17. Ooh, against the Springfield Cardinals, my former team. And that's just a bullet out to right. Top spin bullet out to right. And I like short hitters that have actual tools because they're just harder to pitch to. Like, I was hoping for exit velo there, but we didn't get it. You know, you just feel like you have less of a strike zone to work into. And also, you know, he's got such a quiet swing. You know, we just watched Rainier with the big leg kick. That's quiet right there. So he's not going to have to adjust that too much. Anyway, bullet home run, first at bat. And then another home run here later. Ooh, left on left. 3-2 count. Another bullet. Identical. 2 identical home run, just bullets to right down the line. So plenty of exit velo in this monster. And I'm sure we'll be seeing him at Chavez Ravine soon. But I couldn't ignore the 2 home runs. Had to watch the 2 home runs from Zyhir Hope. So had to do that. All right, now we got to figure out who else to watch. We are an hour and 17 in. Let me hit the solo shot real quick. Saw Cease on a podcast talking about something he picked up from Yoshi. Looks at the dugout, moves to catch about halfway through. What do you think about this? Why that helps him and why? Yeah, so we talked about this on the stream a bunch. It's really hard to just stare a hole through your target the whole time. A lot of times disengaging from the target and then re-picking it up allows you to maintain eye-target connection through the pitch. But if you try to do it from jump, you won't have enough focus endurance, I would call, to stay in the target. You'll tend to kind of come off the target right before you actually get to the moment of truth of delivering the pitch. So Yamamoto looks away. Shit, Mariano used to look down and then back up. So I think this is great advice. I mean, even from a batter's box, Tony Gwynn talked about something. Well, Todd Helton talked about something Tony Gwynn taught him, which was actually to not just stare a hole through where you think the ball's coming from. Actually look somewhere else, like against the scoreboard, and then right as the pitcher's about to release, lock in on where the ball's coming from. Same concept. Keep your eyes fresh. Don't get into that phase where you're just staring at something too long. Relock in and then execute. So that's the reason for that. Haven't gotten to watch Tyler Bremner yet. Every time I've wanted to watch him and he's popped up on the coffee cups, he's actually gotten hit pretty hard. So I'm waiting for a decent outing, and then we'll watch Tyler Bremner at some point. What do you think of Keider Montero? I think he's been great this year. I think he's a dog. I think he's tough as nails. He pitched well for Venezuela in the Classic. 2 fastballs, good curveball, can pitch in any role. Happy to see him succeeding after he didn't make the club out of spring training. How does Cease throw so hard with such a little arm swing? You know, arm swing's not correlated with velocity. All it's helping him do is get his arm up on time before he delivers the velocity. So the arm swing doesn't really matter. that much. It's all about timing, and you know, you want to have your hand in the right power position when you get your landing foot planted, and then you can lower the boom. Then you can absolutely lower the boom. I love the WBC in general. I think it's one of the best things ever. I can't, but I did see Kyle Harrison says he's dealing with elbow discomfort, so maybe that's the answer. Elbow discomfort, so maybe that's the answer in and of itself. Just not feeling great. So other than that, I can't really answer it because he was pretty damn good early, but obviously he was probably doing a little better with his results than we're used to. All right, so this is our win probability added for pitchers. It makes me think we should probably watch Jared Jones and also maybe McClanahan, but I want to start with Cade Smith, who's a guy that I snubbed for the All-Star team. He made the All-Star team. I snubbed him. I wasn't going to vote for him, as good as he's been. But I want to check in on Cade Smith real quick. You know, what's interesting about Cade Smith is it's always been fastball split, but this year the split's been the dynamic pitch. He's been incredible. Just absolutely incredible this year with the split. Look at the run values this season. Last year it was the fastball, 16 run value on the heater. This year it's 0 on the heater, but positive 3 on the split. They're hitting 135 on the splitter with a 44.6% whiff rate. So Cade Smith came through yesterday in the 9th versus the Twins. I'm curious why his WPA is so high. So let's see. Cade Smith, 8th inning. Okay, so here's what happened. So Gaddis was in. Gaddis gave up a single.
Gas station t-shirt. About an hour and a half into Wisconsin from the Minnesota.
This isn't a tie game, so this is why it was so much leverage. Single ground rule double is going to set up 2nd and 3rd with no outs in the 8th.
Yes.
When obviously one more run and they're looking to close them out in the 9th. So 2nd and 3rd, no outs. Bring in Cade Smith. And this is how he digs out of that. This is just impressive. Let's see it. All right, splitter, fouled off.
Everything you're looking for in an elite reliever, he'll be an all-star.
Four seam, that's that great four seam he possesses up in the zone doors. Here comes a 99. Ball. 99 again. Fouled off, and then 98. So a steady diet of fastballs up in the zone. Blows away Alan Roden. 1 out there. Now he's looking for another strikeout here of Kreidler. Sweeper down ball. Just trying to land a free strike with the sweeper here, and then he'll go back to his fastball splitter, I'm sure.
Okay, that's an even better one. Now you're
Sweeper down again. Ball. All right, challenge heater coming. 99. Oh, painted down and away. 99 again. Huh. Doors, and I think you should stick with it. This is 100. Doors. So 2nd and 3rd, no outs. Strikeout, strikeout. Then he's going to go 8-pitch walk to Austin Martin. So credit Austin Martin for hanging in there and walking. But then he is going to bear down and get Brooks Lee out and maintain the tie score. So, you know, this is what an ace reliever can do for you. Can turn you from basically a sure loss into a chance to win a ball game. I don't know if they won this ball game or not. I think they actually lost this ball game. But at the end of the day, this, you know, delayed that from happening because he comes in 2nd and 3rd, no outs, and he's able to pitch his way out of it. Here's the final pitch of the inning. But I wanted to give props to Cade Smith. He's been awesome, really, since he got to the big leagues. But in a Emmanuel Clase-less world for the Guardians, he's had to step up into closer pretty quickly in his career. And he's delivered. He's got basically an undrivable fastball and a really good knuckleball type forkball split thing. So, pretty impressive. 39 innings, 26 saves. He's throwing more than an inning per save, which is per game, which is a little bit of a big ask. And a lot of times big-time closers don't do that, but he is doing that. And now for his career, he's got a 2.51 in 189 games, so, and a sub-1 whip. What a great find for the Guardians. This guy's been awesome. So I want to shout him out really quick. Feels like an up and away fastball shouldn't be a good idea ever. If you get arms extended, you don't even need to create lift. Feels like it's easy ball to barrel. Well, up and away fastball to lefties from righties is a huge swing through location. A lot of times, because of the nature of the swing path, as the ball gets further away from them, their barrel naturally droops a little bit down and there's clearance to get over it. It's not a lot of guys can come through and keep it really stiff. If they could, you'd be right. They'd clip those pitches up and away and they wouldn't have to create any lift. They drive them out, you know, considering they have good bat speed. Like Vlad sometimes can do that on high and away pitches because he's so flat, or Junior Caminero. But there's not a lot of swings designed for that anymore. So it actually is a pretty good idea. But I see where you're coming from with that comment for sure. We already did. Go to my YouTube channel and rewind into the stream and you'll see Jake Bennett breakdown. He pitched awesome versus the White Sox. Yeah, I was literally on ESPN last night, Josh. Yeah, Christian Scott, he's on the list. He's not next though. Next for sure has to be either Shane McClanahan or I think Jared Jones. I think Jared Jones needs to be next. So let's look into Jared Jones. How many starts has he had now? This was start number 8 off of Tommy John. Just a little guy that throws really hard. There's a lot of Spencer Strider, prime strength Spencer Strider in his game. Just all gas, no brakes, really good slider, really good fastball. I've had multiple hitters who faced Jared Jones tell me that his fastball slider combo was one of the best they've ever seen. You know, Chase Burns level, Spencer Strider level when he was prime. So he struggled out the gate. These were his outings: 4 1/3 and 5, 5 and 0, 4 and 2, 4 and 5, 3 and 1, 4 and 2 and 3, and then 4 and 1. And then this is the first time he achieved 6 innings, and it's 6 perfect innings against the Braves. 6 innings, zeros across the board, except for 8 strikeouts. Here was the breakdown from this game versus the Braves, which of course they end up winning despite getting perfect game through 6. Breakdown for Mr. Jones. 55 fastballs, averaging 98.5, 21 sliders, averaging 90, and they got 62% miss. So 8 whiffs on 13 swings on a slider, and he threw 1 changeup in there for fun. So another guy who's young and nasty enough to go with the 2-pitch approach. We'll see how long he can maintain this, but it's going to be pretty. This is going to be pretty straight filth here. 6 perfect innings from Jared Jones yesterday. So, I mean, all of a sudden in the summer, we've seen some really dynamic, close call pitching performances, close to perfect games, no hitters and stuff like that. All right, first batter, Michael Harris. We'll watch all the pitches since he's perfect. Just your ho-hum 100-mile-an-hour first pitch.
Painted the batter's eye to more of a matte finish. But still, from home run balls.
Yeah, the Pirates have been hitting more this year.
Steve, right?
6:42 at night.
I mean, just blowing it by Money Mike. Here's another Hundy. All gas first at bat. This is 100.6 for the called strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. Little challenge, and that tickles the bottom. So, bunch of screaming heaters. I mean, it's not hard to see why you like Jared Jones. I mean, he throws really fast, and he's got really good breaking balls. So, good place to start. All right, second batter, Ozzie Albies. 4-seam away strike. 4-seam underneath and late. Gonna come with another one here, probably a little higher. Yep, misses with that. And then another fastball. So all fastballs here in the first so far. James Ozzie there. 2 up, 2 down. And now should be Matt Olson. Yep, first pitch slider backdoor. Love it. Nice pitch. Slider again. Chase below. Ooh, that one was nice. That had beautiful presentation. Look at that thing. Strike, 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 strike. Hit the ground. It's almost as soon as the bat starts to swing, the ball repels away from the bat. All right, 0-2. Some's good, more's better. Give him the third slider, Jared. Oh, goodbye. That was filthy. What a filthy first inning. I think it also doesn't hurt that there was an incredible amount of glare coming off of the batter's eye in this game, so keep that in mind. But, yeah, that was pretty dominant. All right, Drake Baldwin. Yep, 99 all day long.
It's such a nice initiative, too. I'm glad that they do it.
I mean, these are middle foul offs. But middle's a great place for that slider to start from. Yep, goodbye. Nasty back footer. He's gross. His slider is really, really good. Throws it with really good conviction, too. Watch Jones from the side. I mean, that's good conviction on a slider. No slowdown whatsoever. All right, one pitch out. 100-mile-an-hour heater to Dubon. Jam sandwich. Bilal with the play.
Indeed, yes. Out of the gate.
And now we have Austin Riley, who's looking to stay, well, looking to get going still. Fastball in, strike, fastball middle, swing through. So, yeah, you see, I don't think they can see the ball very good here in the early going, and he's got good stuff to boot.
Yeah. Your chances of getting a chase.
That was probably a pretty hittable pitch, but it shows you the quality of the slider, that he was that fooled by it. All right, 3-2. Chopped foul. And then another fastball here. Beats him, pops him up. So just kind of overwhelms Austin Riley right there. But you see what I'm talking about? The glare, how bright it is in center field off that batter's eye, and then you're standing there in the shadows. That's a tough dynamic for the hitters. I don't want to take anything away from Jones, but that definitely helped. There's no question. Anyway, that's a beautiful 2 innings. Third inning coming up here. 97-2, up and away. What do you think I'm doing? This is so weird. Is the chat super late or something? I don't know.
And then Mike made it to the big league at that point, right?
At that point, so this is 1980.
81 card.
Here's a slider popped up in the infield for the first out of the third.
If I remember right.
He was only 5. I can't read.
Well, yeah, when you're 8 years old, you're like, oh yeah, I had 22 home runs, and now I'm like, I need some light, please. Ball players.
Yeah, it looks like I was late to some comments because the comments are flying into my OBS right now.
Stratton pitched last night. Bart came in mid-game with. That's already
Slider coming here. Joey Bart off the end of the bat, but almost gone. That probably would have been gone, but Reynolds catches it over the low wall. So, again, he'll hang you some sliders now and then. And early on, those were getting hit pretty hard. But in this game, it looks like the Braves came empty on a lot of this.
I mean, that's got to be a home run in 28 parks.
Really.
98 up and in. Fouled away. Oh, great line for a slider. Started away. Yep, gets the trigger, doesn't get the swing. Try it again. Happy accident front door. Strikeout to end the third. Fourth inning, back to the top of the order. Michael Harris. Backdoor slider. He's hit that pitch a couple times this year, very impressively. Slider, backdoor, slider, chase. Beautiful start to this at-bat. Try it again, go a little lower. Yep, no take there. He's got down freeze available. They don't go right to it. They try for a fourth slider in a row. Fifth slider in a row. So this was one of those ones where he just stayed stubborn with it. I don't think you can hit my slider. And he was right. Gets the swing over. All right, Ozzie Albies. Changeup. This is the only one of the game. And he misses with it, and then he says, I'm not throwing that ever again.
That the Pirates have in their rotation, I think they could be more fastball heavy.
Fastball in, pulled on the ground to O'Hearn. Piece of cake play there.
Starting pitcher have success. Yeah, every pitcher's different, but Paul was successful.
That's what we're watching here right before our eyes. Oh.
This is such a good matchup. I like watching these guys go at it, Olsen and Jones. 3-2. He's going to punch him with the slider. So the slider's been his get out of jail free every time. He's had such a dynamic slider in this game. A couple really good ones in big moments. 3-2.
Jaw with a ball.
Banger slider. That's nasty. All right, 5th inning. 97 up ball. I mean, also the fastball, too. A lot of late swings. It's crazy because he had just as good a stuff, I thought, his first few outings, and people were all over him. So, I don't know. And there's another great slider down below the zone. Really good execution of the breaking ball today, I guess, is probably the biggest difference. He's throwing a few pitches down the middle, I guess. I mean, who doesn't? But not getting paid for those, not getting punished for those, and then continuing to execute really well around the edges, especially with 2 strikes. Here's another fastball here. Man, Dubon's annoying because he'll just spray you the other way, but 0 for 2 trying to do it today so far. Almost looks like he can manipulate the slider shape, as Savon Plot has some at -3, some more of a cutter shape, -6 for vert. Yeah, for sure he can. There's also probably a very subtle difference in release. So, not totally surprised. A lot of people have that ability to kind of do a little bit of both. Austin Riley gets himself to a 3-1 count. Ah, you are going to give him a slider on 3-1. And then the 4-seam on 3-2. Oh, it's just absolute domination. 3-1 and 3-2 gets Riley to chase above the zone. Perfect through 5. On to the 6th. And this would prove to be his final inning, even though he goes 18 up, 18 down in this game. You know where I stand. I'd always like to see guys go for it, you know, particularly with 9 outs to go. But, you know, I'm also not the one who is in that seat making the actual decision. Maybe I'd feel different in the moment. But, of course, I like to see it as a fan. Quick out there. Here's Joey Bart. Strike 1.
Yeah, that was a good one. You know, it was going to be in the 2nd row.
Chopper to 3rd. Easy play there. There hasn't really been too many plays, maybe 1 or 2 that were almost hits. The one long fly out that Reynolds caught, then the one ground ball that Bilal ran down. But other than that, pretty much everything's been an easy out. All right, 1-1 here to Mateo. Vert on his fastball. It's varied a little bit in this game. We'll look at his metrics in a second. Slider rolled over. So he ends up pitching 6 perfect innings and 77 pitches. I mean, shit. I would have let him go. I would have let him go. But I understand that, you know, that's their choice. All right, so Vert on his heater yesterday was actually only 15. He was 15 and 9. He's averaging 16 for the season. Not as high as you would think, but he's a little bit of a shorter guy. So it probably plays a little flatter to the top. Here's Jared Jones's pitch plots. This is him on the season, averaging almost 16 with 8.6. There's the slider you can see from the pitch plot, which was just mentioned in the chat. Some of these are a little more lifty, a little more cutter-ish, and some of them are definitely more gyro slider-ish. So an ability to kind of do a little bit of both there. In 2024, pre-surgery, his fastball was a little bit hoppier. Not a whole lot, though. About half an inch hoppier. Then again, the arm angle now is 4 degrees lower, so it's probably actually playing better in terms of VAA. But interesting guy to think about. And yeah, I mean, look, Ashcraft, Skeens, and Jones, that's the hope for the Pirates. Get to a postseason, and hopefully those guys can pitch for you and pitch well. I think that's the hope for the Piratas. MLB balls take away some vert or no? Well, it depends on the year. Sometimes they add vert. Sometimes they do take away vert. Just depends on the year. There's been so many different Major League balls. But generally speaking, Major League balls actually have more movement on them, especially on fastballs. It's something I always noticed relative to like college balls or something like that. More darting movement. So it's pretty good. You surprised with how much trouble Bubba Chandler has had? No, I actually predicted him to struggle a little bit coming out the gate last year. I wasn't as impressed with him last year as everybody else was. I know that the stuff grades are super high on Bubba Chandler, but I was looking at a guy who's more of a thrower than a pitcher, a little stubborn with his approach, which is fine. I have no problem. Like, he'll learn, and it's important to learn. Failing is part of it, but Not great command. I felt like he had enough control, but not enough command, if that makes sense. And then honestly, I thought his slider wasn't that great. I know the metrics love it. I like Bubba Chandler's changeup. Hey, babe. What'd you get?
Pains.
Oh,
Pains.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
But we don't pay for mom.
Were you just out with mommy?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't pay with Gloria.
You're going to paint with glow when she comes?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We just save it.
Okay.
We just save it.
Okay.
Because me and mommy not done paint this.
Okay.
And mommy not done paint this.
Okay, I love you.
That's mommy. No, that's why it's us.
Okay. Have you ever been in the spot of Cease yesterday? Ninth inning, gave up a hit. No. No. Didn't really start much in the big leagues. Only had 3 starts in the big leagues. So no, I got a no-hitter in college. And in minor leagues, I pitched into the ninth a couple times, but no, never close to a no-hitter in the minors or in pro ball or anything like that. Caesar Nicholas. Wow, I remember that. Remember that dude. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're getting close to 11,000 subs on YouTube. I'd really like to hit that number today and then climb towards the next goal, 12,000. Keep going from there. I think I'm going to do Melton next. I know McClanahan and Melton are both desired. I think I can maybe bang out both if I do speed watching. So I think we'll do Troy Melton. This guy's been a godsend for the Tigers. He came up last year. He was slow played this year into the season with a little bit of injury stuff coming out of spring. 49 innings, 41 strikeouts has made me a little skeptical. Made me do the one eye rock eyebrow to him a little bit. Like, okay, what type of pitcher is this guy really? But every time I watch him, he's kind of dominating everybody and getting a lot of quick outs and putting a lot of pressure on guys. And the extension's really good. And it's just really firm with a lot of different pitches, and they're all useful.
The football.
Ooh, beautiful football. Dun, 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 dun. Love you. Tell mommy I'll be off in a few minutes. Like 10 minutes. All right. Troy Melton yesterday. Who did he face? He faced the A's. That's right. 5 1/3. A lot of strikeouts in this one. So let's see what we think. Let's see what we think. Tigers, A's, 6-1 Detroit victory. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run not earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 91 pitches. Player breakdown. Oh, this is cute.
Banana.
Banana.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, okay. All right, 28 heaters, 26 cutters, 19 sliders, 11 sinkers, 8 splitters, 2 curveballs. I do think his cutter and slider tunnel really well. Also, he's got great velocity on his cutter. 93.2 averaged yesterday. That's great. The big whiff pitch was the slider, so I'm imagining a lot of cutter to slider combo. Let's see if that holds up. All right, A's, Detroit. I'm going to speed watch these last 2 because I'm a little tired. Didn't sleep much last night coming back from Cincy. All right, let's watch him get his outs. All right, first pitch of the game, 1 pitch out to Geloff, 96-9, ground ball to short. We love right-on-right sinkers for that reason, chance of getting quick outs. Geloff tries to jump Melton. Melton is a strike thrower du jour. He's another guy with a pretty short arm swing. And he pours in this first pitch right and right sinker for a ground out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Second out is going to be to Kurt's cutter. We talked about how his cutter's actually pretty good because he throws it so dang hard. 94.5 on this cutter with a nice metric. Gets in on the hands of Kurtz, rolls it over to first. And then he's going to finish the first inning, getting out Shea Langoliers with 98.3 four-seam. That's middle. That's a good swing. Honestly, Langoliers and Sal Stewart have similar swings. And they're not exactly the same. Sal's a little more tall, I think, in his stance, but similar swings, using the whole field. Good swing there, no dice. Line out, 1, 2, 3, first inning. Second inning for Melton, first out coming on a cutter. So this is our second out on a cutter in the game, both to lefties. This one got off the handle, little flipper out to right. Can of corn definitely jammed Soderstrom right there. 76 off the bat. Very nice. All right, next up, Jacob Wilson, splitter. That ball's actually hit pretty hard and lined right to McGonigal. Ooh, I like his splitter metric. Very low spin, 86.6 with negative vert. I like it. I know this ball gets rocketed hard, but whatever. All right, here's the first hit. Lawrence Butler.
3-2.
Splitter down, rolled down the line, and not a great play by, I think that's Torkelson. And Lawrence Butler, friend of the program, one of our guests on the show, gets himself a double. All right, man on second. Kuroda Grouder is going to stick the bat out. This time, Belly's flying in the infield, keeps it in the infield by Torque. So the run doesn't score, but they don't get it out. A little frustrated for Melton right here. You can tell he's a little frustrated. He felt like he should have had it out on one of these last two balls. He even hesitated. And now it's going to be first and third. Let's watch this whole at bat as he pitches to get out of this inning against Cortez. All right, 98 down, fouled off. Good pitch to hit, but he does have great velocity. Cutter now, hopefully to the hands. Oh, no, they're going backdoor cutter. Ooh, backdoor cutter painted. Really good pitch here by Troy. Good catch by Dingler as well. All right, 0-2. And he's going to punch him out with the slider. I talked about it. Cutter to slider combo is probably how he got a lot of his whiff. Those two pitches are going to tunnel and sequence really well off of each other. Goes backdoor cutter to back foot slider. Gets the swing over. No runs in the second. All right, third inning. Going to start it off with a swinging strikeout of Bolte on a slider. Let's see if he went cutter to slider again. No, four-seam slider, slider. This is a good slider, though. So I also want to talk a little bit about deception. There's a lot of different ways to have deception and to hide the ball, but check out how Troy Melton's hand comes right behind his head. See how the hand is right behind the head? That's hiding the ball, you know? So that's another way to have some level of deception and to, hide the ball from the hitter. Anyway, strikeout there. Back to the top of the order. Geloff, going to punch him out with 98. Just straight up by you, sucker. That'll bring up Jeff McNeil. Did something happen to Kurtz? Because the squirrel's in the game. He's going to get him out with a cutter. So really easy third inning. Not sure what happened to Kurtz. Fourth inning, Langoliers strikeout on a cutter down. Gets him the chase. Here's a hit from Soderstrom on a curveball. Oh, good swing. He was all over that pitch. Hammered that to right. That's going to be an easy double. Good swing by Sodi right there. 103-3. So man on second, one out. Next up, Jacob Wilson. And this is where the one run's going to score. Sinker. Chopper. And they airmail it, and that's going to bring in the run. So should have had two outs, man on third. Instead, it's a man on second, one out, run in. Now he's got a battle. Called strike three on a backdoor cutter. Oh, backdoor cutter to Butler. Dirty pitch. I like this backdoor cutter. Backdoor cutter underutilized right to left. Typically up in the zone, but underutilized pitch. Nasty. All right, here's another. This is Kuroda Grouder again. He's going to get on with another chopper. Melton goes for the bare hand, has no play. And now he's going to have to pitch out of another first and third two-out situation. So let's watch this whole at-bat against Cortez again. Remember, got him with a slider last time. Cutter down ball. Cutter coming again. Fouled off the back door. Cutter now. So cutter, probably slider. Yep, cutter to slider. Man, I'm smart. Predicted it before we even watched the outing. Cutter to slider is going to play for this kid. And that's just nasty. 3 cutters in a row, and then this slider just bottoms. Swings over the top. Really good sequence there. Nice execution. On to the 5th. First out in the 5th is a strikeout of Bolte with a fastball dotted down and away. See you later. Nice pitch. Second out is a strikeout looking to Geloff, as now we're third time through the order. Fastball down. Paint. And now back to the squirrel. This is going to be a long at-bat, huh? 12 pitches. Ah! What's that, Bubba? Pizza? You scared me, bro. All right, let's fast forward. I don't need to watch all of Jeff's at bat here.
36 strike.
All right, pitch 12, and it's a strikeout. So punches out the side in the 5th. This is a sinker running away. Typical Jeff reaction to his strikeout, just disgusted with himself. Here comes the putter toss. Oh, Jeffrey. All right, 6th inning. Langoliers. Man, he's had a lot of success with fastballs down. That ball's well struck. Langoliers hit 2 balls well and got nothing for it. But Melton's had a lot of success with fastballs down, it looks like. And then this is going to be his last batter. He walks Soderstrom, who actually had good swings off him all day. And that's it. They pull him at that point. But a great outing. Really, really good outing. I want to backtrack a little bit, and I want to watch the delivery. Of course, there's a dude in our way. Can this dude get out of the way? Here we go. So I find his arm action to be very interesting. Just really good scap load, early scap load, but again, just the hand behind the head, and it's a short, efficient arm stroke. Not a lot there. Really good extension. I mean, he gets way out with a big, long stride. Look at that long stride, and then reaches out for the finish. So his fastball is going to play faster than the number, and I think just the nature of how his pitches packaged together, they work really well together, particularly that cutter to slider, which could be the answer to his whiff issues, which we saw crop up early in this season. But for the most part, he pounds the zone. He creates good contact for himself. He doesn't beat himself. And if he can get more whiff and more strikeout, maybe the ceiling raises up a little bit, and we might have a potential big-time starter on our hands. But he's been a godsend for the Tigers. They've needed him. Mize has pitched well. Skubal's back. Like, this is how they can potentially piece it back together, is by having dominant starting pitching. So, Troy Melton, fun guy to watch. Only 25 years old, out of San Diego State, 4th rounder in 2022. Been really good in a short big league time. And, you know, if they can keep him healthy, he'd be a weapon for them. If they get into the postseason, he can do a couple different things. Love it. Short circle with no pause hitch. Gets it up and ready to fire, but it's not too deep. Yeah, but deep enough where he has a nice scap load, you know, but not buried back there. I agree with you, Mitch. Mechanically, a bit different for sure, but seeing some Giolito and Melton. Everybody sees the short arm, you know, the Joe Kelly, the Cease, the Giolito. A lot of short armors in the game. His is a little bigger than that, but yes, he's got the short arm. Other than that, a little different with the long stride and some other stuff. Do reactions like McNeil's get tired for other players as the season goes on? Absolutely, but we love Jeff. He was our grouch, you know? He was our grouch. Do you ever go wind up with bases loaded or never wind up as a reliever? I never did it. I just stayed as stretch. I wanted to be consistent so I could execute the best, but some people feel comfortable with the wind up, so they do that. It also brings some quick pitching in that spot. So, man, only 38 likes. Everybody in the YouTube channel, please give me a chance and click that thumbs up button. Give me some more likes. We need some more likes for the algorithm for sure. All right, good. We got to 11K. That's a good number. We'll head towards 12. 12K is the next. What was I just thinking? What was I just saying? 12K is the next goal. Did Ramos bat flip his hit off Cease or normal reaction? I think he bat flipped a little bit. I think he got a little too excited. Rapsodo or Trackman all day long. Hawkeye really is the answer here, but those are expensive. Trackman all day long. All right, let's speed watch one last guy. Shane McClanahan and the dominant Tampa Bay Rays. This is another guy I'm really happy for. Been hurt for a while, but has come back and been really good for the Rays. 2.83 through 17 starts. Hasn't pitched since 2023. I mean, he's not as nasty probably as before from a velo standpoint, but this guy still knows how to get it done. His fastball's great. He jumps off the mound. He's got the changeup. He's got the breaking ball. He's untouchable in the trop. So, you know, the Rays have 3 sub-3 ERA starters in Martinez, Rasmussen, who's one of my favorites, totally underrated, and McClanahan. So this is part of the reason why they're so good. I mean, they got some dogs in the rotation, and Shane's one of them. So faced the Yankees last night, took the win, 6 1/3, 4 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 85 pitches. Breakdown on McClanahan. 34 heaters, 30 changeups, which I love his changeup. It's kind of a split, but it's so good. 13 sliders, 8 curveballs, 77% first pitch strikes. Fundamentals were on point. Always on point. Always hit your fundamentals, kids. All right, let's check them out. Shane McClanahan versus the Yankees. We'll speed through this one, and then we'll do probables, and that will be it for today. And we'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to start talking draft pretty heavily. Carl, I edited the Google Doc. I have my top 30, I think. I'll make some more adjustments later, but yeah, pretty soon we'll be doing draft talk again. All right, Yankees Rays. This is our last person of the day. Let me just tell my wife 5 minutes. All right, first batter up, Paul Goldschmidt's going to punch him out with a slider. Ooh, accidental top shelf slider. Paul Goldschmidt is actually in a horrible slump right now. He looks lost at the plate, which is crazy because he was so locked in just a couple weeks ago. So, you know, they've been looking for somebody to carry the offense with Judge out. Goldie did it a little bit, but now he's ice cold. Rice has been in the middle. I know he played a little better the last few days, but he's ice cold, comes around that slider, and then he's going to get Rosario out here with 99. And whenever you watch McClanahan, you always have to point out the uniqueness of the delivery. Check out the jump. Simply nobody else I can think of in the league right now that does this move. Look at the jump. Back foot, way forward, and is able to have incredible athleticism and timing with it, but it's very unique to him. And I think it makes his changeup really good too. All right, that's the first inning. Second inning.
And you never know what you're going to see. And all of a sudden, Rays do something they've never
Ooh, changeup, strike 3 to Bellinger. Goes for the challenge, but that's in there. So paints belly with the changeup there. That's dirty. All right, Dominguez is going to get a hit. Dominguez has been much better from the right side, which is an encouraging development for the Yankees. And I say that, and then this is kind of a lucky infield hit. So infield hit for Dominguez. Here comes Volpe, everybody's favorite Yankee. Gets sawed off, but that's going to work. Man, they had something cooking here versus McClanahan. They're going to have first and third, 1 out. Let's see how he pitches out of this. First pitch fastball to Schumann. They go for the bunt, right back. He's going to make the play at home with the glove flip. That was way too easy. Dominguez out at the plate. Let's check the high home on that. Did Dominguez get a good jump? Pretty small secondary, to be honest. But the bunt's also just bad. I mean, you can bunt it pretty much anywhere but right back to the pitcher. That's what he does. McClanahan with the glove flip. Easy play at home. And then he's going to get out of the inning. Of course, you know, you face Austin Wells, you're going to probably get him out. So, fastball, popped up, foul territory, easy play. All right, that's the end of the second. Third inning, first out on that split changeup to Caballero. Good charging here by Taylor Walls. He needed to charge that hard, and he did. So, nice play there. That changeup super effective, getting him to chase off away. Here is Goldschmidt. Fastball up. Too much for him. Lazy pop up to right. And then Ben Rice gets a 2-0 challenge heater. Middle, and chops it. So, I mean, they're just, even when they're getting pitches to hit, they're just not consistently getting on plane. So, easy third inning. Fourth inning.
Again, I have no idea how you come up
Slider to Rosario. Grounded to Junior Caminero. 1 up, 1 down. Next up, Cody Bellinger, 98. Ooh, good swing. Looks like he just missed it, though. Yep, just clipped it a little bit under, pops it up. 2 outs.
Dad, we need it.
You need what?
We need plate.
You need a plate?
Yeah.
You need this one?
No, that pizza.
I know. I'm almost done. Let me just finish up. I'll be right there.
Green one.
Mean one?
The green.
The green plate?
Yeah.
Where's the green plate?
And you know.
Oh, I don't know either. This was actually hit pretty hard by Dominguez. We talked about how he's been, not really 83, but thought this was a good swing. I guess not. Must have mishit it a little bit. Anyway, good positioning there. That's it for the fourth. Fifth inning. Volpe, changeup, rolled over to third. Beautiful location, very similar to Jake Bennett, getting that changeup down away from the righties. Schumann, who had the bad bunt the first time, same thing there. Changeup down and away, rolls it over. You see how effective that pitch is. It's beautiful. So 2 quick outs there, and then a 3-pitch strikeout of Wells, who is completely lost at the plate. McClanahan takes care of him on 3 pitches, and now the 6th inning. Leadoff hit by Caballero on a bunt. Wow, great placement on the bunt. Nobody covering first. Yeah, there's the pizza. All right, so leadoff, great bunt by Caballero. Strikeout of Goldschmidt. Perfect changeup again. Strike him out, throw him out. Man, the Yankees just can't get it going. Strike him out, throw him out. This is nasty. This changeup's nasty. The throw's nasty. This is just good baseball. And then a strikeout of Rice on a changeup. His changeup's so good. One of the best in the game. Did go out for the 7th. 10-pitch at bat here. Gives up a hit to Ahmed Rosario. And then he's going to get a 1-pitch out here to Bellinger. And that's the end of his outing. But he cruised. He just had the one. He had 2 situations with first and third and 2 outs. Changeup is the pitch. The fastball's still good. But yeah, I mean, Yankees have some rally killers in their lineup right now. There's no other real way to say that. They just got some rally killers in their lineup. You can get in trouble, but certain guys are just going to bail you out in that lineup right now. It's tough to watch. But yeah, man, 17 first pitch strikes out of 22 batters. Only 1 hard hit ball the whole game. You know, McClanahan and the Rays continue to be awesome in the Trop. And that is the story for today. This has been a fun little stream. Appreciate everybody that's been here in the chat. But this is going to be it today. So really appreciate you guys hanging with me from all over. TikTok, YouTube, everything in between. Thanks for getting me to 11,000 subs. Now we press forward towards 12,000. There was plenty more pitchers to watch today, but we just don't have enough time. I got a lot to do. Christian Scott would have been an awesome one. There were some others as well. But we're going to go ahead and move on today. And we are going to hit the probables and then say goodbye. All right, here's the matchups for today. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. That's starting in half an hour. Bryce Elder, Mitch Keller, 2 struggling starters. Royals, Mets, Waka, and Manaya, 2 vets going at it. Yankees, Rays. Yankees need this one bad, but they're facing Drew Rasmussen, so that's not going to be good. Blackburn, Rasmussen. Cubs, Orioles, Peterson, Trevor Rogers. Guardians, Twins. Gavin Williams, Bailey Ober. Red Sox, White Sox. Can the Red Sox sweep the White Sox? Patrick Sandoval makes his return to the big leagues versus Anthony Kay. A's, Tigers, Perkins, Framber, Valdez. Tigers looking to keep on trucking. Mariners, Marlins, Bryce Miller, Jansen Junk. Marlins looking to keep on trucking, although Bryce Miller's been filthy for the Mariners. Phillies, Reds, Luzardo, Singer. I expect the Phillies to bounce back in that. Brewers, Cardinals, Logan Henderson, welcome back. That's going to help them. And Andre Palante. Cardinals could use a win today. Angels, Rangers, Detmers, who's been on a tear, and Nasty Nate. Diamondbacks, Padres, Merrill Kelly, Griffin Canning. And our last game of the day is Ryan Feltner versus TBA, Rockies, Giants. So that's it. Thanks for everybody who hung with me on the stream today. We had a really good turnout today. This was a fun one. Thanks for everybody who checked me out on the broadcast last night on the ESPN game. I think I'll be on Yes Network this whole weekend doing Yankees Nationals pre and post. And then the next game you'll see me on will be ESPN game on Thursday the 16th. Mets at Phillies coming out of the All-Star break. So look forward to bringing that to you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow on the stream. Let's get our minds into draft mode. We got prospects to talk about. We got a big draft coming up here this week. So should be very exciting. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging with me today. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the Discord. Join the Grounds crew and all that sort of stuff. All right. Have a good one. See you guys later. Bye-bye.